Hi, my name's Andrew Goulst. I was one of two project officers tasked with the rebuilding of Reece High School. I want to welcome you to Devonport, Tasmania, Australia. I want to welcome you to Reece High School, a community school of its local area, its city, its state, its nation, and a true member of the global community. It's exciting and a privilege today to be able to share a story with you. It's a story that we enjoy telling, and we know it's a story that many people have enjoyed listening to. I want to start that today by looking at what was aired on a local television station. Let's go there.
When 650 students and teachers woke to news their school was burning to the ground 3 years ago, there was a feeling of outrage. For the next 2 years, those students shared a school with 500 others. This year, they returned home. On tonight's Sunday Insight, Andrew Hard looks at the story of Reece High School.
It would be a day that would change schooling on the northwest coast. 50 years of history and Devonport's second largest high burned to the ground in just minutes.
And one of my students was there at 5 in the morning, and he was a young man who was about to become a prefect in his final year at school, and he was in tears and he was saying, "Where are the honour boards? What's going to happen to us?"
To rub salt into the wound, word quickly spread the fire was no accident. Arsonists cut through a gate and lit up the mostly weatherboard school, causing almost $15 million worth of damage. But for the students and staff, it wasn't the cost of the school, it was the cost of losing everything.
The thing that most upset me was that that day I had sewing, and I was almost finished my apron, and I'd redone the pocket like 9 times, and that got burnt in my sewing box that I'd made and everything. So that was the most upsetting thing, all my stuff that got burnt.
For the next 2 years, the 650 Reece students were forced to share classrooms at Devonport High while plans for a new school were made.
It was long and hard. We couldn't put our possessions anywhere. We didn't have a lot of possessions to put. The children had to carry their equipment everywhere they went because they had no lockers. When it rained, we had no cover.
It sort of stuffed up schooling pretty well. I probably could have gone better if I'd stayed here before it burnt down.
But this year, the staff and students are back. The plans and execution so good, Reece is currently on the shortlist for an International Engineering Prize. New Principal Cherie Vertigan says it's a unique situation and a very positive one.
It was a terrible tragedy, and we can focus in on that tragedy, but in reality, you know, every cloud has a silver lining, and this is our silver lining. And
the school, now one of the most advanced in the country. Each morning, students receive the daily messages electronically. There are some 150 laptops available for use, and each building is state-of-the-art.
And in some ways, we're trialling different things that other schools will take on. You're in a unique situation when you have to rebuild from scratch to be able to look at what is the best available.
Police are still investigating the fire. There was talk of a serial arsonist. All has been quiet for a few years. Whoever did burn Reece to the ground may have caused some serious damage, but today the Reece tradition lives on.
Well, they didn't destroy us, so in the end, look at the school we've got now.